Hello out there in the community, it's Chris. It's the Mad Respect. I'm back with this week's video. Discount comic book service via FedEx sent me my comics for the first week of February here. Books from February 1st. Uh, they went out on late on Wednesday and showed up at my home here on Sunday. So it's the second fastest service time from FedEx. It was 4 days. Fastest ever was 3 days from 2 videos ago. So I hope they don't go back to using UPS in the future. They continue to use FedEx because FedEx seems to have got their things together. So anyway, before we get into this box, it's not too entirely huge this week. We're gonna do as usual reviews and some stuff I just finished reading. So kick off with the conclusion of Creepshow from Image Comics. This is cover B by Kelly Jones. Cool. This one had a story by Steve Orlando, and the other one was by Clay McLeod Chaplin. Clay McLeod Chaplin, Chapman, Clay McLeod Chapman. He's done like horror novels, and he's also written primarily for Marvel, like Wolverine and X-Men type stuff in the past. But one of them's about uh, because it's by Steve Orlando. It's about homosexuals, and it's about how the main character stays young by feeding uh, souls of uh, souls of victims to this monster by taking thirst trap videos of himself, and then the monster eats the other people he takes the selfie with. So at the end, he ends up hooking up with a one night stand, and then they accidentally ended up switching phones. So by the time he goes back to get his phone, he's now like a 70-year-old man because uh, he doesn't have his phone anymore to take a photo. So when he goes to retrieve his phone from his one night stand, the guy's like, "Oh, what are you doing here, Grandpa? Go back and put your depends on. Get out of here. I'll give this send your grandson over here and I'll give him his phone, but I'm not giving it to you, you weird fucker." And then the monster eats our main character, and then the other guy is inside his apartment taking a selfie of himself. So now the curse will go on to him. And I can't quite honestly remember what happened in the second story by Chapman, but I remember liking it more. Oh yeah, the Chapman one's about a girl who's kind of like a southern debutante. Uh, and her parents are all overbearing, like, your posture and this and that, and you gotta do the fitting for your dress. And then halfway through the episode, and she has like a big boil on her toe after taking off her high heels, and it splatters like a zit all over the wall. And then they have the big debutante ball in the last few pages, and in that she turns into this cockroach woman. I'm surprised I don't remember that from the cover. But she turns into the cockroach woman and eats the head off of her date and murders her parents. So she gets her revenge on her overbearing parents. So it's an interesting ending to the series, and I got every open over cover for the series because I love Creepshow. Uh, I know the community didn't seem to care for it. And here is Dead Seas issue number 2. This is cover C by Martin Simmons. I'm not going to be receiving an issue 3. I somehow failed to. Oops, I got a thingy on my thing. Give me a minute as I live and in person. Turn off in the middle by plugging in my plugging in my stuff. All right, should be good to go. All right, sorry about that in the middle of the video, but yeah, I forgot to order issue 3 or something happened. A bunch of particularly DC books and then this one 2 months ago on yeah, it must have been 2 months ago because this month is issue 5 that that I'm going to order for this month. So issue 3, and then Joker from this month, and issue 7 of DC's the new DC series, and then Hulk number 12, and and through no fault of me forgetting to order it, but Discount Comic Book Service still hasn't sent me my issue 1 of Radiant Pink. So, anywho, long story short, somehow I missed ordering all of that 2 months ago. So, and it's too late to pre-order issue 3 from Things from Another World. It's my usual catch-all when I miss a book. So, I'm gonna have to buy my issue of Dead Seas number 3 on eBay in the future, or maybe there's another on-time retailer that doesn't actually put their books up on their site until they've actually released. So I might try them because I've used them in the past and trust them. And then there's an eBay seller, the Glass Cabinet Hobbies, and I trust them. So if I have to, I'll get both the Radiant Black cover and the Dead Seas number 3 uh, through Glass Cabinet Hobbies when issue 3 actually releases. But I enjoyed issue 2 more than number 1. The first one just kind of introduced all the characters. They're basically on a ghost ship, and they can have part of their sentences commuted by capturing ghosts that are loose on this cruise liner. And the secondary main character is a millionaire who owns the boat. His daughter uh, departed on the voyage with the crew, and halfway through this issue, you find out her father had no idea that she was there, and that she's not supposed to be there. And then they catch a ghost midway through this issue. So, and at the end, you find out what happened. I think you find out what happened to someone was thrown over or someone committed suicide in the first issue by throwing themselves over the side. And then, oh, I remember what happens at the end. Yeah, some pirates get on the ship, uh, who were led on the ship by one of the guards, and then they start going crazy and shooting up the under part of the ship, and they shoot a barrel of ectoplasm, and that is flammable and explosive, and then you see part of the ship explode outward at the end of issue 2 here. So I will be wanting to finish the series now. I was just gonna stop at 1 and 2, but I'll find some way to get myself an issue number 3 after it releases. And here's some series that are in process. This is Plush issue number 3 from Doug Wagner and Daniel Hilliard. Basically, cannibal furries. A guy goes to a furry party because his girlfriend is sleeping with the deputy of the police chief, and the police chief has a mad on that since his daughter only wants to marry our main character, even though she sleeps around and is carrying another man's child. Uh, the sheriff has got a mad on that they're going to get married, but then the furries come in and kill all the policemen who are keeping him hostage there, and take him to their secret lair, and that's where it kind of leaves off. They're in the secret furry lair, and the chief of police is put in an all points bulletin. This is one I forgot to talk about last video. This is Art Brute issue number 2. This is cover C by Martin Morazzo and Chris O'Halloran. Definitely picked up. Issue 2 was 10 times better than issue 1, although I enjoyed issue 1, but I really, really enjoyed this issue. Uh, Basically, this has there's a group of art terrorists who are led by a guy who resembles Andy Warhol. And in this one, he hijacks an art class and has them all tear out their tongues because something like art is supposed to be made by people who are silent and don't talk back or whatever. So then, and you find out that Art Brute is staying with the police detective who he met in issue 1, and he's still in his, when he's not in a painting, when he's in a painting, he's brilliant and can solve anything. And when he's not actually climbed into a painting, he's autistic. So he's just basically autistic in this lady's living room at the end of issue 2. So I think it's a 4-issue series, so 2 more. And here's the penultimate issue of DC Horror Sergeant Rock vs. the Army of the Dead by Grivy Bruce Campbell and Eduardo Rizzo. Uh, yeah. And yeah, so basically in this issue, the issue before this, they followed Hitler's doctor to where Hitler is hiding out And then for the first half of this, they're setting up their plan to attack the compound. And in the second half, they attack the compound and they go inside and they find out that Hitler and Hitler's girlfriend have already taken the zombie formula, and they're basically shooting and killing everybody who's inside. And they realize that's not going to be quite enough, so they order a second airstrike on the site. So they kind of have to get out of there as quickly as possible, I guess, in issue 6. That's how it's going to end. Final issue will be, I think, coming out this month. And then I didn't fully read these, but I read most of issue 1 of Red Room Trigger Warnings. This is the second miniseries from Ed Piskor from Fantagraphics. So there's 1 and 2. And then I was just going to mention when 3 and 4 came out, it switched to fully cardstock covers. All of the more recent issues of Spawn and like a DC cover B. Really nice 9/8 quality cardstock, whereas issue 2 has a big corner bend from being dropped, I think, at some point, where if it had been already switched over to the cardstock, that wouldn't have happened. Annoys me. And the last box that I'm going to speak on is Inferno Girl Red #1. This is another book out of the MassiveVerse, the new Image superhero universe, headlined by or spearheaded by Radiant Black. I believe this came out as a oversized hardcover graphic novel all in one that you could order on a Kickstarter back in 2021, I believe. But now they're releasing it in 3 issues at Image. They're all 3 oversized prestige. I think 56 or more pages in each issue, and this one introduces the 2 main characters, which is the mother-daughter, and then the mother lived in San Francisco. I believe it was San Francisco, but lived in the city they're moving back into because the daughter is moving back to the city to attend college. And when the mother was about the daughter's age, she knew of the superhero Inferno Girl Red uh, back then, 20 years before, and always tells her daughter stories about Inferno Girl Red. And so halfway through this issue, after she's been at college for a day, uh, a big monster appears on the campus, and then her mother appears and says, "Put this watch on and put your fingers over it and say, Inferno Girl Red, as loud as you can." And then now the daughter has the Inferno Girl Red powers, so this leads you to believe or leads you to infer that the original Inferno Girl Red was the mother, but it kind of just ends after Inferno Girl has defeated the monster that was on campus and tells her mother, "I never want to use the powers again." So that's how the first issue ends. That's the cliffhanger at the end of issue #1. So I like that. That was probably one of the better MassiveVerse books. Definitely better than Radiant Red. And I haven't read Radiant Pink because, like I said, Discount Comic Service hasn't sent my Radiant Pink. I mean, uh, Rogue Sun is as good as Radiant Black, and Inferno Girl is better than Radiant Red. So that's how I would rate uh, rate the books in order of reading enjoyment so far. Is this week's stack for week 1? Pretty small week. I think a few things got pushed over to week 2, particularly Black Tape from AWA. I saw reviews on it on, I believe, both Rock and Robbie and then the site Who Shall Remain Nameless that like to tear their comics. They both reviewed Black Tape last week, I believe. But I did not. I don't believe I got my copy in week 1. Let's see. Nope. No Black Tape. So first week is 14 items for week 1. I think that includes some double covers for various series. So not 14, only 10 or less books. Here is Marvel previews. So it's probably 10 books because I think I have both Marvel previews and DC Connect. I don't know why they give me a bag and board for free Marvel previews. It doesn't cost me anything. I don't want to pay. I mean, I could use the bag and board later for something else, but rather than send it like so. It was just 2 weeks in a row I received the Marvel previews. The last box, 2 boxes in a row I received the Marvel previews. My last box had, this is what, issue 17, and before this issue 16, which since I got it last week, I got it barely in time to even see any of the covers or for most of the. They sometimes have more solicits in here than they do on discount comic book service. So, uh, yeah. So, yep, this is number one. Shouldn't be in a begging board, so I'm just gonna put that over here. It's not a comic. I'll read that later. First book out of this week's box. This is Dark Web Finale or Dusk, issue number one. This concludes the Dark Web event, which was Spider-Man and X-Men uh, centric event. Although I only collected the Spider-Man and Venom parts, I didn't get the X-Men or Ms. Marvel parts. Here is my most anticipated book out of this box for sure is Breath of Shadows number one from IDW from Rich Doick and Alex Cormack of Sync fame. And these two already have done Road of Bones and Sea of Sorrows for IDW. So this is the third historical horror miniseries under the belt now. So definitely looking forward to. Here is Year Zero, issue number 4 from Daniel Kraus and Gordon Sudzuka. This is from AWA Upshot. This is the prequel to Volume 1 and Volume 2, which were both by Benjamin Piercy. And this is the penultimate issue to the Year Zero, Volume Zero miniseries. Been enjoying the series so far. Here is King Spawn, issue 19. Yep, 19. This is cover B by Javi Fernandez. I think the A covers. Yep, Javi Fernandez, who did you do the art in this issue? Nope. Thomas Nachlik and Vaughn Randall on art in this issue. I've fallen off of King Spawn. I think the last issues I read were pre number 10, so I got a big chunk of King Spawn to read through once I organize my collection and find them all, which should be happening in the hopefully later in this first quarter of 2023. It was one of my goals is to get my collection organized. But this is an awesome finance cover. I believe the A covers in February are by I can never remember his name. He did the Ghost Box arc of Astonishing X-Men after Cassaday left the book, and I can never remember his name. I mean, I can remember it. I'll remember it after the video's over. Here's DC Connect again. Another bag and board that I pay 15 cents for that I don't need because free free giveaway. Okay, next book up. Here's Quick Stops issue number 4. This is the final issue of this View Askew Universe miniseries from Silent Secret Stash Press and Dark Horse Comics. Cover B. Say who the cover is by, but this is a Breakfast Club homage of Randall, and then has 4 different characters that are played by Brian O'Halloran, Dante, uh, Gil Hicks. There's a guy who was like a news reporter, I believe in Chasing Amy, or he might have been the news reporter in Dogma, and then he was somebody else in Chasing Amy who I cannot recall. The final issue of Quick Stops. I really enjoyed this series. Looking forward to seeing how it ends. Assume that's a Clerks related issue. Here's another concluding chapter. Much delayed. This was Minor Threats issue number 4. This is from Patton Oswalt and Jordan, not Jason Bloom. Uh, they were on the site that tears their comics. They thought this was Jason Bloom from Bloomhouse. No, it's Jordan Bloom, who's a different cat. And this is Ian Herring on the art. No, it's actually Scott. I guess 2 artists. Scott Hepburn has done all the art on the series up to this point, but I guess Ian Herring is finishing it off. And this is cover B, I believe, by Joe Thompson. And that's what it probably says on my. I should keep it around. Give me a sec. Yeah, there we go. This will help me tell you what these variants are by. So this Quick Stops variant is cover B by Van Dyke. Cover B by Van Dyke. Whoever Van Dyke is, I don't know the first name. And Minor Threats is cover B by Fowler. But I'm gonna double check that because I swear it said this is also from Dark Horse. Yep, cover B artist by Tess Fowler. Don't know Fowler, not familiar with their work, but this is a better than okay cover. Probably my least favorite of the four B variants that I selected for Minor Threats. I've been enjoying the series. This is basically an analog of the DC universe that deals with all of the B level villains who have to try to take down that universe's version of Batman, or try to calm him down by murdering this universe's version of the Joker, because this Joker murdered Robin, and now this universe's Batman is on a mad bend and killing people now when he never had before. Uh, so here is Venom. This is issue 17. Issue 16. Venom issue 16. This is cover B, the Stormbreakers variant by Martin Coccolo. Closer. Here's mini Venom, sewer rat for a slice of New York pizza. That was cool. There's a even awesomer Chris Bachalo cover of Venom reclining on a pool floaty with his giant mouth open and a bunch of seagulls in his mouth, eating off his tongue. So it looks like he's about to snap and eat him, but that was a ratio variant, so I couldn't bring it home. Here is Rogue Sun. It's issue number 10. So this should be towards the middle of the arc. This is by Ryan Parrott. And this issue has art by Rena, not Abel, who does most of the art in Rogue Sun. So I've been enjoying the second arc. Basically, the father, the father's AI that was in the suit, took off at the end of the first arc of the series and hasn't returned. And then somebody is sending all of the old Rogue Sun villains after Dylan, trying to kill him. And we're not sure who, but it doesn't seem like it's the kids from the father's original family. So good mystery for arc number 2 so far. Here is more MassiveVerse. Here's Radiant Black. This is issue number 21. This is just A. Yep, cover A. For once, the B cover on Radiant Black was um, less attractive to me than cover A. This is probably cover A by Marcelo Costa, who also does the art in here. Uh, so this is the middle. And this is towards the middle of this arc of Radiant Black, because I think it goes through issue 24. So 18, 19, 20 is 21, then 22, 23, 24 after, or wait, 19, 20. So this should be the middle here, the middle of the arc. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 6. They're all 6 issue arcs. But I think I read the first part of this new arc, and then I've fallen off. I need to find them when I do my organization. Here's Quick Stops. This is cover A by Rafat. Raafat. Rafat. Ahmed Rafat, it says on the cover. So the artist of the book is also just this A cover for Quick Stops. It's a Clerks cover. It has the sign from the movie. It says, if you find the shop list, let us know. And it says and the same goes for you, any customers looking at this issue at the comic shop. Do not shoplift. No. Quick Stops, final issue, cover A for issue 4. And I said Breath of Shadows was my most anticipated book, but after hearing what the community has been saying, other than that site, the Terrorist Comics, the rest of the community is saying this is a banger. This is Where Monsters Lie, another Dark Horse. A lot of the Dark Horse for week 1. Issue 1 is from Kyle Stark with art by Piotr Kowalski. This is basically what are all the serial killers and monsters from all your favorite horror movies. What do they do between their killing sprees? Where do they go? How do they live? That's the conceit of this series. It was the register pitch for it, but um, the reviews I was hearing yesterday is just like they're more just killers, not necessarily direct analogs to movie characters. Some are, but most of them are just killers, and they're all in their own gated community. Uh, so definitely looking forward to reading that for sure. Here's our last book of the first week. Another great series, Moon Knight. This is just cover A for number 20, and then it says plus a story guest starring Blade by Danny Lore and Height, art by Height. I'm not sure who. I think it's Anthony Height, maybe. That rings a bell to me. But this is by Jed McKay, and the art is by uh, Alessandro Capuccio coming back to illustrate this issue. This jumps between Capuccio and uh, I'm not sure what the other guy's name is. But yeah, there's two main artists on Moon Knight, and it's like kind of like 2/3 the backing artist to when it's actually Capuccio doing this art. But I guess cover B it didn't exist, or it must have looked really bad because I usually don't get cover A for Moon Knight. But so that is a small unboxing for week number one. Uh, I went through the Discount Comic Service site last night and made my preliminary pull list for books coming in April. I have some highlights I can think of off the top of my head. There's a new James Tynion the Fourth horror series, ongoing series coming from Image Comics called World Tree. Uh, and I got like few covers for few of the open order covers. I got a few of each because the last couple James Tynion ongoings that are not House of Slaughter kind of popped, so I'd like to have these extra copies so I can do a quick flip with some of them possibly if this again pops. And then it has a retailer incentive 1 in 10 by the great Jenny Friesen. Great Jenny Friesen. It's a great cover. Uh, I don't do editing on my videos and pop pictures up, but I'll try to find it here super fast before the end of the video. Give me 1 sec. See if I can show it up on the screen. And then Discount Public Services behind this week. They haven't pulled anything for week two, so I probably won't have a video up until late. Uh, today is today is Monday the 6th, so I probably won't have a video up until probably around the 16th or 17th for week two books because, like I said, they're not even going to receive their books until Tuesday, according to the email I got. Let me find this picture here real quick. Yep, I saw a picture because it has the item coming soon on Discount Comic Book Service, but I found Big Times Collectibles. Uh, they're selling a pre-slab of it, but I don't usually get ratio variants, especially since they nice block that so you can actually see it. Cancel. Now you can actually see it. Hopefully, let's see if we can get it to show up. Yeah, this bad boy is gonna cost me 20 alone, but for 1 in 10, that's actually not bad for discounts. I'm sure they usually charge 3 times ratio on depending on the publisher. Yes, close to 3 times ratio on discount comic book service if they offer a ratio at all. That is one of the better looking Jenny Friesen covers I've seen lately. Pretty cool. So definitely looking forward to getting my hands on that in April when my books come, whenever they come in April. Uh, and I'm caught up on my payments through this month, so I shouldn't have any other than when the books are delayed. Any delays receiving my packages this month. So I may be back on sooner than next weekend because I'm definitely going to be receiving a box or two from Economics and Comics. I got an exclusive that is coming separately, and then I have a FOC order that should be all filled by this new comic book day that should go out to me. So I might even have that video by this weekend, depending on how. Sometimes Billy's boxes, they take like a week to show up. So in that case, then we'll have another video like the same day next week before the next Discount Comic Strips video. And then I did win a few books on comic auctions on the cheap from the Saturday morning auctions on the cheap. I can't remember any names. I'm sorry. I'm like the worst YouTuber, but just when you go to YouTube on if you're a comic book person and you go to YouTube on Saturdays, you're most likely subscribed to this person, and they have a 4-hour auction starting at 11 a.m. every Saturday. Uh, and the guy I can't remember, he's the host, but I do remember who I bought my books from. They were all bought from Shelby Comics 10 uh, on eBay slash Instagram. I got an upgrade for an issue of Uncanny X-Men where my original copy, it's a Claremont Uncanny X-Men, but my original copy has water damage all along the top of the cover. And this one I got for a couple dollars, and it looks pretty flat and good. And then I got a couple other cover buys to go along with that, just so I didn't have them sending me like one book for $8, you know. Instead of that, I got like 3 books for $17. So slightly better deal, I suppose. Uh, that package should also come sometime this week, so probably wait till it all comes around. It's all here, some of it's here, so it's not just a video of me opening $3. So hopefully the economics and comic stuff shows up around the same time, or close to the same time as this auction I just won. And then I'm not sure when Black Box is putting out issue 2 of Dream Master, but I ordered both 1 and 2 of Dream Master cover A's directly from Black Box Comics when I first heard about the series, which was after FOC, but you could still go to the Black Box website and order them directly from the publisher. So I know 1 has come out, and I'm not sure when 2 comes out, but then 3, 4, 5 I'm getting from Discount Comic Book Service. So that box will come sometime in the indeterminate future. Uh, so for Dream Master. So that is what's coming up in the future of the channel. So thanks for sitting through this video again, and thank you to the 4 or 5 new subscribers I got in the past, like, I say 36 hours. I added my name to like a grow together video on another channel that I can't remember. I mean, I'm just gonna look it up. I can't do this no more. I can't not give credit to people just because I have the memory of a fly. So give me a sec. Nope. That. Taking a minute. Of course, my phone is slower than ever now that I have to look something up. Here we go. Scroll down a bit. Scroll down a bit. On Saturday. Let's see. His name. Help each other. Super Ross. It is Neo Collects. Neo Collects put out a video saying subscribe to Super Russ and put your subscription count into the comments. So I put my subscription count in the comments. I said since I had my 100 subscriber giveaway back in the maybe November. It was either November. It was in the fall. In the fall, I had my 100 subscriber giveaway. Uh, and then since then, I've been hovering around between 105 and 107 subscribers. like that for the past 5 months now. So I put my thingy down there. I got 4 new subscribers in, and I am currently at 107. So I went up when I said that post. I was at 105. I had 4 new subscribers. Now 107. So you think 105 plus 4 would be 109. So I think YouTube boots people or whatever, or fudges your numbers basically. But I'm not really all about the subscriber count. But thanks to Neil Collects for putting that video up and spotlighting Super Russ. Uh, and then thanks to Boyd and Peter, something about Peter Parker was a subscriber, just subscribed to me. And then of course Neil Collects just subscribed to me. So all those guys, thank you for being new subscribers. So thanks for sitting through this video. It's half as long as my last 2 videos because I didn't have as many books to review and my box is pretty small. So anywho, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Everybody take care out there. Bye.